Welcome to the Comics Corner podcast with B-Lar and Danny P. We are brought to you by the CLZ app and are part of the SPDM podcast crew. Please check out some of the other podcasts from SPDM wherever you download your podcast. Danny cannot be with us this week, but he will definitely be back next week. First, we would like to take the time to salute all veterans out there. Monday was, of course, Veterans Day, and hopefully you took the time to thank a veteran. And what better way to get into G.I. Joe? This week we will talk about the real American hero, G.I. Joe. I'll tell you what I've been reading and give you my picks for November 13th and another edition of new ones. Let's get right into G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was originally a comic strip based on a action figure toy line. Kind of looked like a doll, but that was a long time ago. Back in 1942 was the comic strip, and in 1982, Marvel Comics took over publishing of G.I. Joe. After a run with Marvel, they brought in Larry Hama to write over 155 issues of the series. It is considered one of the longest running comic book tie-ins to a toy line. And besides a few issues here and there with guest writers, Larry wrote them all. He continues to write now the latest G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero stories that are coming out. Larry Hama is writing those for Image. After Marvel Comics, the title went to Dark Horse Comics. Then Devil's Due Publishing, and it's gotten to where it is now with Skybound Entertainment, who is partnering with Image to produce G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero. And starting today, G.I. Joe #1 is coming out, written by Joshua Williamson, and I can't wait. Other books that I'm reading right now: Batman 154. Chip Zdarsky's still doing an amazing job writing. We've got The Murder of Mayor Nakano. Commander Starr thinks he's helping out. And The Court of Owls is working with Edward Nygma. Green Arrow Annual by Joshua Williamson, doing his final hurrah with Green Arrow before he moves on. Oliver is babysitting some of his grandchildren on the island. He's just trying to get a nap in, and they want to hear some stories. So he tells them a story about a villain named Firestarter that he could never catch. And during it, has an epiphany and realizes who Firestarter is. And the kids dress up in costume and go with Green Arrow to take down Firestarter. X-Force #5, we have the death of one of the squad from X-Force. And Absolute Superman came out. Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval, they nailed it. Just the idea that Krypton is set up into different classes, and each class uses the symbol, and the highest ranking are scientists and the lowest ranking are the workers, and the symbol for the lowest ranking people on Krypton is the S shield. Of the 3 titles so far of the Absolute universe, I think this one's taking its time to develop the story. Uh, a lot of stuff to be revealed, and it's looking like it's going to be very well done. Very much looking forward to all 3 of the titles. Absolute Batman #2 comes out today, and the books just continue to get better and better. Picks for the week, things that I'm looking at. Another all-in new #1's coming out, Black Lightning. From the Ashes, we have NYX #5, Psylocke #1, which looks good. Uncanny X-Men #5. DC vs. Vampires, World War V #4 is coming out. From Dark Horse, Arcbound #1, which is Tom Hardy and Scott Snyder working together on a book. Transformers #14, we have the wrap up of Starscream's origin. And as I mentioned, G.I. Joe #1 is coming out from Image. Our new ones for today from Afterlight Comics, we have Goatman Trilogy, Rise of the Goatman #1. Our good friend Evan Pozios, he's a friend of the store. He did a book called Silence #1. It will be coming out today. AWA Studios has a book, You and I #1. It's a J. Michael Straczynski book. Blood Moon Comics, Spellsinger #1, Starved Rock #1. Boom Studios, has Power Rangers Prime #1. It is a Ultimate Marvel meets Power Rangers type alternate story. Win the Power of Blood by James Tinian. Dark Horse Comics has Black Hammer Spiral City. It's a Jeff Lemire book. Batman Uncovered #1, which is a book featuring several of the covers to the Batman books that have been coming out recently. IDW Publishing has got Star Trek Lower Decks #1. It's an ongoing series. Mad Cave Studios has String #1. The hero sees relationships between people, and it's in a string. She sees lovers and she sees murderers. So follow the string. You can either get killed or see some people having a good time. Marvel Comics, I mentioned Psylocke #1 coming out. Ani Press has Calavera PI #1. Rebellion has Battle Action coming out, written by Garth Ennis. Stranger Comics has Deviant Volume 1 #1. Titan Comics has Heat Seeker, Combustion, a Gun Honey series #1. And Valiant Comics has Exo Resurgence of the Valiant Universe #1. So there's your #1s, your picks for the week. As always, you can go to Comics Corner. You can check out either store in Fraser or Rochester. You can join the new comic book club for $20, and you get 25% off all new books. We're going to wrap up this issue of Comics Corner podcast with B-Lar and Danny P. We are part of the SPDM podcast crew. I would like to thank the CLZ app for their sponsorship. Please check out the CLZ app when you get a chance. Check us out on our social media at Comics Corner Podcast on Facebook and Comics Corner Pod, all one word, on Instagram. And as always, comics is with an X. Thanks for listening and have a great week. Read well, everybody. Do you collect comics and need an easy way to catalog your books? I have the app for you. Try the CLZ app. This app gives you the ability to scan your books using a barcode or individually or as a series. Just type in the book name and click the box and boom, the comic is in your collection. The app has variant covers and most new books each week, even the independents. You can try the CLZ app for free for 7 days. After the trial period is up, it is only $1.99 a month or $19.99 for the year. So get the CLZ app wherever you download your apps today.